Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Snuggly Monkey unboxing. Happy Friday afternoon. This is my first one in a few weeks because I was closed for spring break. Hello everyone. And I just reopened this Wednesday. Had a wonderful break. Hello. And I'm happy to be back, well rested. And excited to jump into things. While I was away, several boxes, hello, arrived. So there's lots of different restock things for me to share with you today, and also some new stuff that just arrived. And I was actually able to get it all listed up on the website as well. So you'll be able to find everything that I'll be showing you today. You'll find it on the website. Hola. Yeah, as soon as we're done here. So let's see, a couple shop updates coming up. We've got the next open studios coming up on April 27th. And then right after that, I will be heading out to Chicago to go to the H&H Americas trade show. And I'm super excited. There are several new vendors that are going to be there this year that weren't there last year that I'm looking forward to meeting. Lots of folks coming in from Europe that I'm excited to take a look at their stuff and hopefully be adding all sorts of new stuff in the coming months. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so that's what is going on. So let's go ahead and jump in and start opening some of these boxes that are here. All right, so this first kind of set of boxes is from Olympus, and it is the kind of rest of my last order of the new Olympus threads. This is their Awai Ito line, which is their like pastel and dusty colors. These are a little bit different from their other colors. All the other solids and variegateds usually come in 20 meters per skein. This particular, the Awai Itos, come in 40 meters per skein, which is actually, when I first started selling Olympus, this is how they used to sell all of their thread. It used to all come on 40s, and then they switched it down to 20s because they realized that was really all you needed to complete most of the Olympus Sashiko samplers. So in order to bring down the price and make it more affordable, they made the skeins smaller, brought them down to 20 meters, but they've decided to put out this collection of colors back in the original 40 meter size. And so these are the new dusty colors that were very popular on the first run. So this is kind of a good restock of all of these colors. So all of the new colors are back in stock, and I have them as both individual colors, or you can get them as complete sets. Hey, Sublime Stitching, how are you? We've got some of the Sashiko samplers are in here, and then we've got these are the dot grid samplers. If you are not familiar with these, this is the navy sampler. It's the 5mm grid. So particularly for, hey Jetty, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. For hitomezashi style sashiko, it's usually done on a 5mm grid. And so what these dot grid samplers are is it has the grid printed on the fabric for you so that you can then create your own sashiko designs, or if you have found stuff in books that you want to try, this just makes it easier so that you don't have to draw the grid out yourself. This is the same, printed in the same ink as these, where the ink washes away once you're done. So you can go ahead and stitch, and then once you're done, you wash your sampler and all these little dots disappear, so you're not going to see them in the background. This is what I used when I did this sampler. It was exactly that navy blue, so you can see all of those blue dots disappeared, and all that remains is my stitching. This is a pattern that came out of the amazing Sashiko book, and so I had seen it in here and I wanted to give it a try, and this was definitely, the dot grid sampler was definitely the easiest way for me to be able to do that rather than having to draw the whole grid out myself. So this book, I used to talk about it a ton in my sashiko classes because for the longest time it was only available in Japanese, but last fall they did finally translate it into English. It's one of the few books that I actually sell in the shop because I don't sell a lot of books in the shop, but this is really one of my favorite sashiko books. It's by IU Fish International, and it just has some really kind of different modern sashiko designs that you don't see many other places. So that's where this pattern came from. And speaking about books, this one came back in stock right before I left for spring break. So in case you were looking for the 100 Ladies inspiration book, it is back, and I got a really nice big shipment this time. The last several times, as soon as these have come back in stock, they have sold out. So I was showing this to somebody that came in yesterday for a shopping appointment. The book is in Japanese, but the cool thing is that if you use Google Lens or Google Translate on your mobile device, and you take a shot of the picture, it's going to translate it into English for you. And the great part is that the names of Japanese embroidery stitches are the same as they are in English. So like this says, you know, satin, and so that'll say satin, so you know that's the satin stitch, and it'll also translate for you how many strands you use in order to do that stitch. So it's an easy way. Don't let the fact that it's in Japanese intimidate you, because Google Translate makes it super easy to be able to translate all the patterns into English, and then also all the pictures kind of give you good ideas on different outfits, different costumes to stitch up for all the little 100 Lady samplers. So the 100 Lady style book is back in stock, and I should have it around for a good while this time. All right, so that is what we have from Olympus. Next up, we are going to Canada, and this is a box from Floral and Floss, and this is Alex's, it's mostly needle minders and stick and stitch embroidery patterns. So these are, Alex has a great collection of really pretty needle minders. These are the enamel ones. She uses really nice big magnets, so they are quite strong and hold your needle really securely. There is the Monstera leaf is in here. She's got the Celestial Daisy. There is a crystal ball one. All right, here we go. So we've got the crystal ball is here, the mushroom, the Celestial Daisy, and the little bee is in here. And then, so in addition to all of her needle minders, we've also got a good stock of her stick and stitch patterns. If you're not familiar with stick and stitch, what this is a, the embroidery patterns are printed on this kind of papery substance that is sticky and adhesive on the back. So you pull the paper off the back, it leaves kind of a sticky thing, and you stick it onto whatever you want to stitch. Once you have finished stitching, you submerge it in water, usually like cold water, and you kind of rub it a tiny bit, and this paper stuff disappears, and all that's left is your stitches. So again, really easy way in order to be able to transfer embroidery patterns onto other surfaces. And this, you can also buy this blank. It's called Stick and Stitch by Sulky. And it can, the packs that I have here in the shop, you can run them through your printer at home and print out any embroidery pattern that you want without having to, you know, trace or transfer any of your patterns. But several designers are now coming out with these stick and stitch sets so that the patterns are already printed and cut out for you. And all you have to do is stick them onto whatever surface you want to stitch up. So this is her house plants. So we've got several different, the summer, wild things, and this is her florals pattern. These are really popular if you are interested in trying to do some embroidery on like shoes, sneakers, Converse, that kind of thing. These work really well on sneakers in order to be able to get your patterns onto those if you wanted to put you know, a little flower on there, a little mushroom or something. And anything like clothes, it makes it really easy to get these patterns on those different kind of backgrounds so that you can get stitching more quickly and more easily. All right, so we've got all of these from Floral and Floss. And now from the UK, we've got another big restock of more needle minders. If you've come in the next time, if you come into the store, if you're here local and you come in for open studios, you'll see that I've moved things around yet again. And I moved all of my needle minders are now front and center here as soon as you walk in. And the whole display was kind of empty because I've been running low on needle minders lately. So there's lots of needle minders in all of these boxes. But these are from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And she's got also enamel needle minders that are super duper cute. Good, like nice, strong magnets that'll really hold your needle in place. There's the Corgi. Let's see. The tea lovers, the little teacup is always super popular. What else do we have in here? The little camper van. The book lovers book stack is in here. This is the bobbin that says made to create. And then there are two brand new designs that I just got listed in the shop this morning. This is not one of them, but that's Little Black Cat. So the new ones are this adorable little dragon. That one is brand new that I just added this morning. And let's see if I can find the other one. Here it is. And the other one is called Sunshine. And it's this pretty little sun with the clouds. So you can find both of those are now up under new arrivals in the shop. You can find both of those, or you can browse all of there. So on the website, if you wanted to take a look at all of Caterpillar Cross Stitch's needle minders, then what you would do is when you get to any listing, like if you go to the news section and you find the dragon, right underneath the title where it says, you know, Dragon Needle Minder, you'll see Caterpillar Cross Stitch. If you click on that Caterpillar Cross Stitch, it will take you to all of everything that I have in the shop from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So that's a really easy way to be able to see, you know, everything that I carry from any particular designer. All right, here we are sticking here in North Carolina. These are cozyblue embroidery kits that are made out in Asheville, out in the mountains. And so this is a restock of several of her most popular kits. This is called Night Sky. I also, more needle minders, have a restock of her. This is her little bee needle minder. So that is back. I'm a big fan of cozyblue kits, particularly if you're looking for a kit for a beginner, or they're packaged so nicely that they make great gifts as well. But they're great beginner kits because most of Liz's patterns are very easy. They use kind of your basic embroidery stitches, your back stitches, sometimes some chain stitches, running stitches. She does some French knots, but it's nothing like too complicated. She has a monthly embroidery club that I did several years ago now, maybe 6-7 years ago. And what I loved about it is that her patterns are doable within a month. Like I've done several over the course of my crafty life, several stitch alongs, and I've never am ever able to keep up with them, right? Like the cross stitch ones, I can never get it done within the month before the next month's pattern gets released. But that year that I did the cozyblue, I actually got all 12 hoops done within that 1 year because her patterns are really doable within kind of that 1 month frame. So you get that sense of accomplishment. You get to finish your hoops. These two are just two of the ones that I did that year. This one is called Night Garden, and this one is called Midnight Pine. Both of these kits are inside this box somewhere. So with Night Garden, what I did was I used all of the flosses that she provided with the kit, but then I went and I added some metallic onto this as well. So I grabbed some of the Cosmo Nishikito metallic in silver, and I did some wrapped back stitches to add a little bit of sparkle to the moon. I did some kind of straight stitches here in the flowers to add a little bit of sparkle. So I just added kind of a little bit of pop with my own thread, which is the really fun part about, you can take her kits and do them exactly as they are, or you can add your own threads, your own stitches onto them as well. Hey, there's my brother. Hey, Danny. How are you? So there is a new kit in here. This is called Book Nook, and it's a new design. This just went up onto the website this morning. Would be really cute with the book lovers needle minder that I just showed you. I have kind of a crazy needle minder collection, and I tend to try to match my needle minders to the project that I'm doing. So needle minders are always a lot of fun. So that's what's in here, is all of the cozyblue kits. All right, the next box is from the UK, and so this is Hawthorne Handmade, and they are going to be at H&H next month, so I'm looking forward to seeing Stephanie again and connecting with them, seeing all their new stuff. So they have but what I have in here is mostly needle felting kits and wool felt embroidery kits. This is one of their mini brooch kits. It's called Wren, and this box contains everything that you need in order to make this little brooch. So it's got all of your felt pieces, your embroidery needle, your thread, the pin for the back of the brooch to turn it into a brooch, and they've got step-by-step instructions on how to assemble everything. So the only other thing that you need in order to be able to create this is a good pair of scissors. My favorite scissors for working with felt are the K. Buckley Perfect scissors. They have a micro serrated edge to them, so they make it makes it really easy to do kind of precise, tiny, itty bitty cuts, because it grips onto the fabric as you're cutting it to prevent any like slipping or sliding. Really, really excellent scissors if you're doing any sort of like mini applique kind of cutting work. But we've got the Wren is in here, the Dragonfly kit. What else is in here? And then in addition to those, we also have several needle felting kits. So this is the little dinosaur that is always very popular, the baby sea turtle, and just like the other kits, everything that you need in order to do this is inside this box. So all of the wool roving is in here, the felting needles are in here, step-by-step instructions, and there's even a needle holder in here. So the only thing that is not in here is a foam block, so that you don't kind of poke your fingers or poke your table while you're felting all of that wool. And I do have some of those kind of felt blocks in the shop as well if you don't have your own and you wanted to give this a try. Needle felting is a ton of fun. It's a great stress reliever. If you've never tried it before, let's see. Some of the bigger kits that are here at the bottom. These are a restock of some of their newest kits. These are their pendant. This is again wool felt embroidery, and these are their pendant designs. So everything is in here, even the wooden dowel for once you're done in order to hang it is inside this box. This is their wildflowers, and the celestial design is also in here towards the bottom of this huge box. It's not the celestial, but this is another needle felting kit. This one's called Stretching Cat. Yeah, so that's what is in here. I have several big boxes of fabric over here to the side. They're super heavy, so I can't pick them up and bring them onto the table to open them up for you. But what's in there is a restock of a ton of Essex yarn dyed cotton. I was running really low on several colors, so that's what's in there. There is some of the Sevenberry homespun is in there, and some of the Sevenberry custody, the Japanese fabrics, are in there as well. The Essex yarn dyed is one of my favorite fabrics to embroider on. It is very easy to stitch through, and I really love the way that embroidery comes out when you stitch on this, because it's a solid color, but with the Essex yarn dyed, the way that it's created is that there are white threads in the weft, and then the color is in the weave. So there's a tiny bit of like kind of texture to the background. So instead of just having kind of the flat look of, say, a Kohana cotton or a Moda Solid, any of those, the Essex yarn dyes give you just a little tiny bit of texture to the background of your piece. I mean, like I said, and they're just, the weave of the fabric makes it really easy to stitch through. So I'm a big fan of doing embroidery on Essex yarn dyed fabric. I've also used it for quilts, for garment making. It's kind of a super versatile fabric. So that's what's in those fabric boxes over there. And there's also, I think, 3 or 4 new colors that I decided to add to the shop. So that's what's in those super heavy fabric boxes that are off to the side here. All right, so those are the restock. And now I'm going to show you a couple of brand new things that just arrived that are super cute. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? So from Kohana, these are limited edition Sakura sets. Sakura is cherry blossom. It's cherry blossom season hit Japan very early this year, as kind of all over the world it's getting warmer. So for the 2024, to commemorate the 2024 Sakura season, Kohana has released 2 limited edition special items. The first one is a Sakura. These are the mini thread snips that are always super duper popular. They actually are quite tiny. When folks see them in person, they don't realize just how small they are, but they are quite tiny. So this is the light pink, the light Sakura pink with the golden tassel. And so this is the 2024 Sakura limited edition mini thread snip. And then they released these insanely adorable little sewing sets. So it comes with the woven basket. There is one of these little mini snips is in here. There's a ceramic magnetic needle rest that is in the pink, and it's meant to look like the cherry blossom opening up and unfolding. There is the world's most adorable tiny bobbin of poly thread, and there's a sewing needle in there as well. So the thing with these is that Kohana released a very limited number of these to their US distributor. They were super kind and reached out to me before they released them and set aside a few for me, but this is all I'm gonna get. So I was able to get 12 of these kits, and I was able to get 20 of these, and that's it. The other US distributors of these have already sold out, but because these came in while I was on spring break, I just listed them this morning, so I have all of these available in the shop. So if you really want one of these, I highly suggest grabbing one because they, like I said, they made a very limited number and released an even smaller number to the US market. So these will not be restocked. This is what I got. So those just came in. And then the last thing I have here is a brand new embroidery kit designer. So when I was at QuiltCon, the booth kind of diagonally across from me was Whole Circle Quilts. And I have loved Sherry's quilt patterns for years and years, and I have several of them in my Pattern to One Day Make collection. And she and I got talking, and she is starting to develop a line of embroidery kits based on her quilt designs, which I think is awesome. So I've got her first 3 embroidery kits. The first one is called Bees. And so this is based on, she has a quilt pattern that is of this design, but this is an embroidery kit of her design. The way that she's designed her kits is that the pattern is pre-printed on the cotton fabric, but then you can choose to stitch it either with satin stitches and the full colored in design, or you can use back stitches and do kind of the minimalist design. So all of her designs are created that way so that you can do either one, whichever one you're more comfortable with, whichever one you like better. So the 3 designs are the bees. This one is called Modern Moths. And the last one is called Ladybug Loop. So all 3 of these are now up in the shop. You can find them under the new arrivals, or if you search for Whole Circle Studios, you'll see all 3 designs there as well. The kits come with full skeins of DMC floss. It includes your embroidery hoop. It includes a needle, the pre-printed design on cotton, and then there's also stitching instructions inside of here. So brand new embroidery kits, brand new embroidery designer adding to the shop. So I'm super excited to add these, and I'm looking forward to stitching this because I never actually made the quilt. I just have the pattern, so I'm excited to be able to stitch the pattern that I've had for ages and ages. I used to be a really avid quilter, and gosh, many years ago now, I guess it's been like 5 or 6 years, I made my youngest daughter a quilt that was beautiful and super duper involved. It's in one of the Elizabeth Hartman quilts, if you've ever seen them, with all of the animals on it. Anyway, like the one eye of the owl involved something like close to like 30 seams just to make the eye. After I made that quilt, I kind of got burnt out, and I haven't made another complicated quilt since then. But I'm getting inspired again recently to start quilting again. So who knows if I'll maybe tackle the embroidery version of this first, and maybe then I'll tackle the quilt version. All right, so there you go. There is that's all of the boxes that arrived while I was away with restock. A couple of the new things. There are some other kind of big new things that I am really excited about. To kind of give you a hint, for years and years and years, folks have been asking me about embroidery stands and if I have an embroidery stand to recommend. I do have an embroidery stand that I love and that I've used for years, but the problem is that they will not distribute through anyone that has an online store. That company will only distribute through brick and mortar needlepoint shops, and so those stands are really difficult to get a hold of, and so I have always been hesitant to recommend them. But I recently, in the last 6 months or so, discovered a different company that I absolutely love. I have been playing around and stitching with their stand that I got for myself, and I love it. And so those stands will be coming to the shop very soon. So I'm excited to show you guys those in a couple of weeks. All right, that's what I got for you. So I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday afternoon, and I will hopefully see you again next week. I'm going to be placing a ton of orders this afternoon and this evening to restock, so hopefully by the end of next week I'll have several boxes here again to be able to do another one of these and show you some more goodies that come into the shop. So all right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.